Now, 4 decades ago, a campaign based in Wales led to major changes in the way that people bought properties and the charges that they had to pay. Remember, ground rent, maintenance charges, all that kind of thing? Well, leasehold reform was going to do away with the pain of paying most of those things. But it appears it's back in disguised form. An MP is warning that homeowners are having to pay fees for the upkeep of new housing estates. It could become a scandal, she says, as big as PPI. The houses that are built these days are nearly all freehold, but they're still locked into paying for maintaining the area in which the properties are built. And the Labour MP Helen Goodman says complaints have turned from a torrent to a flood. What are people complaining about? Halima Ali joins us from the campaign group, the Home Owners' Rights Network. Morning, Halima.
Morning.
What are people worried about here? What's happening?
Basically, the situation that's developing with new builds, we are seeing that the big developers, they're implementing a system that's a monopoly, really. That's the way to put it, because if you're not happy with the service fee or the service being provided, you've got no right to change the management company. And this applies to freeholders as well as leaseholders living in private houses.
Now, people would be surprised at that because they were accustomed to paying under leasehold. But when you're freehold, what exactly can you be asked to pay for?
You're being asked to pay for the local shrubs, the grassland that's surrounding the development, and typically parks that are in the development itself, but they're public open spaces. So it's free for the public to use and vandalise as they please, and private homeowners are having to foot the bill on top of the fact that they're having to pay council taxes, which is constantly increasing on top of the management fee.
So despite being freehold, something in the agreement to buy means that you are locked into paying fees for the upkeep of the local area. Perhaps something which people didn't know?
I'd say when we're told to when we're in the process of buying our home that the fee is small and it seems reasonable, but when is the actual detailed in the contract that is something that people need to be aware of. Is not made clear that the managing agent can stop you selling your home. They can take you to court, and there's many other extra fees that go along with this service charge, which is debt collection. It's really outrageous what's going on.
Well, what can you do about it? Because in theory, if you buy freehold, you own the building, you own the land in perpetuity. So if you are being asked to pay these charges, what can you do?
Well, you've made a really good point there when you said that we as freeholders, we own the property, we own the land, but these managing agents and developers, they're putting a clause in our deeds, which is the Rent Charge Act, and they actually have the power to repossess our homes. So this is a massive question as to what are we freeholders, or because if they have the right to repossess our homes, how are we freeholders?
Well, we'd love you, if you're out there, if you've bought a house. Thank you very much, Halima, by the way. We think there are at least 20 estate developments in Wales, mostly new estates, where this is going on. 8, 10, 12, if you've had any problems on the text, let us know if Freehold hasn't turned out to be quite as free as you were thinking. Halima Ali there.